Hello everybody. Let's visit CSSBattle.dev and do the daily target. Ha ha ha. So what have we got? Well, if I do the blank template with a paragraph element and I set, well, what colors will I set? I'll set some colors here. All right, so we have an element. The question, is it 2 elements? Maybe it's 2 elements. Yeah, I think it's 2 elements. So let's create those elements. What do those need to be correct? I need to set margins to set the first one. And usually for things like this, I've been doing a display flex, but let's not do a display flex today. Instead, let's do whatever margins we need to create the first one. It's like 112 is the final, and then so what? 200, 0. 200, 190, 190, 190, 190, 192. So see how that's lining up? So I'm making one element first. So it needs to be taller, right? 220, 220. And then border radius. How about 5 centimeters? Why not? Why not? It's fun. It's rough. It's fun, right? Come on, it's fun. All right, and then I think that's a linear gradient, right? Well, it doesn't have to be, let's say. But I'm going to make it that. Okay. 20 pixels. 0. Probably 40 pixels. And then set a 0. 0, 0, or set a top, actually top, and then 10 pixels. Oh no, 1%, 100 pixels, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, like that. So what have I done? I've got this linear gradient that is this dark color and this transparent color, and it is 180 pixels tall. And then it repeats. If I let it not repeat, I let it no repeat, not no repeat, and then said, so that's 1%. Let's make it 100%. Then we get that. And if I put red, if I put a background color of red, well, the transparent's going to show through. So it's really a little tricky to show that without ruining it. But let's make a second element, and for this we will put red on the background, just so we can see the next one. So P plus P. Those margins are going to be probably a negative number, minus 50, 112, 0, and 192. And if I do that negative here, does that make it better? Yeah, that doesn't do anything. I just want a 0 there. And that's fine. So then let's make this negative. 150, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 200. Well, it's going to be the height, 220. Yeah, 220. All right, so why did I do that? It's a good question. Because I'm going to flip these colors. I want to use the same pattern, but the different colors. Is this overkill? Yeah, probably. C1 is, we'll call C, and C2 we will call D. Why am I calling them C1 and C2? Because that's how they are in my head, even though they're wrong. 0, 0, 0, and then D is that dark color, and that's it. So these are 2 identical shapes. Yeah. So if I then do what? If I set red, then you can see that those colors are flopped. Is it efficient? No. Maybe it's efficient actually. I mean, I like it. It's certainly what came out of my head here on Monday. Let's submit. We haven't submitted anything. We actually don't know that it's 100% match yet. We only know after we submit it to the server that we've done okay, and we have now submitted it to the server. So let's minify and unit replace, and that is a solution to this particular puzzle. If I wanted to do this using radial gradients, I think it's 2 radial gradients and a conic gradient is how I would do it if it were just on the body. Let's go ahead and do it because it's on my mind. No margins. Let's do this first block, conic, and of course I have, as usual, I have not kept track of what the colors were. Let's do 75% of the light green, and then the remainder is the dark. Well, I guess it's a blue actually, isn't it? Yeah, it's a blue. We do an of. I don't think we set a width, but we used margins for that. 100 pixels? No, it's probably more like 80. I think that's what we said. 80 pixels. And then we move it over. Let's see if indeed yeah, look at that. That's great. 6, 7, 8. Nope, it's a little too tall. Which means it's probably 140 pixels tall. And then we move it down 10 more pixels. And there's that. So we've got that much. So then it's radial gradients. Circle or 1Q at, what is it? 50%, 100%. This dark color, 40 pixels, and then transparent. And then the second color stop is 0, and there it is. And then we're going to need another one, which is the bottom part of the circle. So it's at 50% 0. And there it is. And then we're going to use background position to move each one of these into place. Minus 20 pixels, minus 30, 40, and then up is minus 200 pixels to 10. So probably that means that this is very similar, but positive. Oh, not quite. How about 200? No, 210, 210, 220, 30. Is that it? I think it is. So that's 3 gradients to do the same effect as the 2 elements that we created with the linear gradient. Many, many ways to do this one. Many optimizations could be made to complete it. I like this technique too. Definitely has a lot of appeal to me. Radial gradients are intimidating, right? It's a circle on an image object, or it's an ellipse, or it's going to adhere to the shape of the container, right? That's what a radial gradient is, and it can have hard edges like these do, right? We have color stops, but if I remove the color stops, what is it? It's going to be, well, if I remove the color stops, both of them, well, it's so subtle that you don't even see it, it looks like, and that's remarkable. Yeah, that's very surprising. Oh, because of this, I think. Because it's 1Q. Circle. There it is. So I've said, hey, make a circle, and it's just so subtle. Because it's got no color stops, it just looks like nothing. But it is definitely a gradient. So we do 20% there, and then set a color stop of 0, or maybe 40%. That's another look. And you'll see it's repeating. Right? So it's worth diving in. One of my ideas is to do a nice intro to each kind of gradient and talk about all the different things that are in my head, and I just sort of spout. sorry. But play around using something like CodePen and play around with a radial gradient. They are frustrating to work with because if you make one character change, you get nothing, right? And looking at this, how on earth, if you've not practiced with them, how would you tell what's wrong with it? It's so start small, start very small, and make slight adjustments and be looking all throughout to the changes that you made and what the effects were. Did you break it? Did you change it? Did you make it bigger? Did you make it smaller? Even something as silly as, hey, I'm transcribing someone's code, and instead of a B, I did an 8. Is that the same? It might have the same diff, but is it really? And what if that 8 was a B? Like, is that the same color? Can you even tell? Like, it becomes pretty subtle sometimes, right? Like you get a slight numerical change and your eye won't detect it. Like I'm making all these changes and they're kind of all very similar colors, but believe me, the diff on the back end is going to say, hey, that color's not right. And that's just an example, right? Like it says, hey, you're at 97.9%, even though that sure looks like the same. It's only the fact that they give us in CSS Battle, they give you, hey, here's what the colors are that we know. Otherwise, you would have almost no hope, right? Like you would need a detector. You'd need a digital color meter of some kind. Like, hey, can I measure this and find out what that color is? Anyway, that's a lot of asides. Hope you're having a great day. Go make a web page, please. The world needs web pages. It needs your creative output. Needs you to publish. Needs you to participate in the world. It's a great thing. All right, get out of here. Have a great day.